Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Freethinker Cast. I am your host Hannah and today we are discussing the American music mogul and producer who shocked the entire internet with his emergency baby oil supply. Earlier this year in May, the feds raided the LA Diddy mansion and discovered 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And no, he wasn't running a nursery. So, no more pointing fingers at the Catholic Church when the priests are touching on the little boys and the little girls inappropriately, because it is evident that corruption and the abuse of power, the exploitation of power and influence is not strictly observed in organized religion. And in fact, I would go as far as to say the secular rverts actually do it better than we do. I think Hollywood turned a blind eye to what Harvey Weinstein was doing because they were benefiting from him. Today we are debating secular rverts versus Catholic priests. Let me know which one you're rooting for in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. So Diddy's lawyer has defended Diddy by saying that Americans like to buy in bulk. Yes, that's why he has purchased 1,000 bottles of lubricant. If you don't know, they have a Costco supermarket in America and you can buy products and items in bulk, and he's just stocking up on his essential items. That's why he's got 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Nothing suspicious going on here. They're stocking up for a rainy day. And then there's buying enough baby oil to last you the 7-year tribulation period. Yes, if you don't know what the tribulation period is, like after Christians are raptured, taken to heaven, there's going to be 7 years of judgment and suffering on the earth. Suffering for everyone except Diddy, because he's going to be slipping and sliding. He's going to be greased up. He's going to have a fine time. So the details of the abuse towards his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, are emerging in this heavily publicized trial. There's a video of Diddy beating her really badly in a hotel room, a video that his bodyguard was paid $100,000 to suppress. So his security guard named Garcia accepted the money and concealed this for many years, and it's emerging now in this trial. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. He's going to fight this in court, but he could be facing up to life in prison. So the Skyra News report says the charges include details of alleged freak-offs described as elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, and touched himself during, and often electronically recorded. He allegedly induced female victims and male sex workers into drug-fueled sexual performances, according to the indictment. Prosecutors allege victims were given controlled substances during the sometimes days-long events to keep them obedient and to keep them compliant. Combs subjected them to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to get them to engage. The indictment also alleges Combs engaged in acts of violence, threats of financial and reputational harm, and verbal, including kidnapping, according to this report, and arson when witnesses of his alleged abuse threatened his authority or reputation. I believe all of it. I believe this to be completely 100,000% true. Why? It's not just like some Me Too moment where there's no evidence and this woman is just regretful that she slept with one of those guys and she didn't get much out of it, so she's making some baseless claim of abuse. We have video footage. We have admission of guilt. We have the bodyguard saying he's accepted the payment. And then on top of that, Diddy is just a creep. Like the way he carries himself, like I still remember this Vogue interview I think he did, and he was like, there are no misconceptions about me.
What's one misconception about you?
There are no misconceptions about me.
Red flag. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever you think about, Diddy is saying to you from that interview, whatever you think about me, whatever the things I think people think, it's true. And then not only that, but his interaction with Justin Bieber, his interactions with other artists in the industry. I've seen videos of him patting down Justin Bieber coming out of a car, but when he was a kid, the one that was going viral not long ago, he was like, yeah, we're going to make you famous. And Justin was like, yeah, we're going to whatever. Justin did not look comfortable around him. Nobody ever really looks comfortable around Diddy. He's just a creep. And is it just Diddy? No, of course not. There are many other influential men in America and in Hollywood that are subjected to the similar allegations, have been found themselves in similar waters. Hugh Hefner, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, all of these influential men have exploited their power for financial or personal gain. So can we point the finger at God if the exploitation of girls and boys and vulnerable people is observed outside of the church? Or in other words, if corruption exists outside of organized religion, is organized religion the problem? You may remember the Archbishop of Canterbury had to resign after he failed to alert the authorities to the abuse that John Smythe was committing, employed by the Church of England, against boys and girls at Church of England summer camps. And he knew about this in 2013. He just assumed it was going to be fine and whatever. And it was like a scandal. It was like the Church of England sex abuse scandal, and he had to resign. Not only this, but there are countless other examples of priests, bishops, pastors, deacons who abuse their position of spiritual authority and the trust they develop in their communities for personal gain. There's a youth pastor recently now in Elevation Church. He's been fired over former allegations of sexual misconduct. This is everywhere. It is rampant. Perversion is pervasive. But this is where we vary. Because unlike Hollywood, within the structure of organized religion, the perversion and the abuse is at least not the means of promotion, career progression. In Hollywood, you can use your body as a currency. You can use your attraction as a currency. Throw yourself at a producer, throw yourself at a writer, and you can exchange your bodies for parts in a movie, roles in a major blockbuster. This is Hollywood's long-known casting couch. It's nothing new. It's not a surprise to many other actors and actresses in LA. Cassie Ventura, as much as I obviously believe that she is a victim, the video footage is all I need to know. Cassie Ventura, as much as she is a victim, she benefited from Diddy. She was his protege. She was signed to his record label, Bad Boy Records, in 2006. That song, I Wanna Get On, like that was a hit. She had iconic bops. Everyone knew Cassie. She's early 2000s R&B vibes. She was famous. She grew in her career because of her association to Diddy. That doesn't minimize the severity of her abuse. That doesn't undermine her testimony. That doesn't, reduce her experiences. It just means she was benefiting from him at the same time that he was coercive and corrupt. So the thought of leaving him would become unimaginable to her because her career was dependent upon him. Why would she leave? She'd have nowhere else to go. Yes, you would. Number one, you would. There are countless other jobs out there. Don't act like this is the only thing out there for you. We're not in medieval England and you're either peasant or nothing else. There are countless other things that Cassie could have explored. The boys who were touched at the Church of England summer camps, what did they get out of it? Low self-esteem, nothing, literally. Trauma that they had to overcome. They're 70, 80 years old now. They still have to live with that. They didn't get a promotion. They just got trauma. Being associated to Diddy unlocked access to his wealthy, powerful, influential network. So you can see that's the reason why a lot of people might struggle to sympathize with her. You had everything. I sympathize with her. I think she was in a coercive and controlling situation. But a lot of people might be like, is it abuse? Like, this is Hollywood. This is almost like the status quo. Now, after trading her body for fame, she's finally counting the cost, the regret sinking in. She's deeply regretful. She's tearful when she's giving her account of her interactions with Diddy on the stand, in public. Important to note that she actually settled in a private civil dispute with Diddy many years ago. I think it was 2023. Diddy gave her $20 million the following day the suit was filed. This, he insists, is not an admission of guilt. No, it's just him trying to quash the beef. She made all of these allegations against him. The following day, she has $20 million in her bank account. Don't say anything else. Shh, shh. In my opinion, Diddy is guilty as sin. So what's this lawsuit happening now? What's going on? It's the US Department of Homeland Security. They are investigating his illegal surveillance, alleged human trafficking, alleged illegal surveillance, and drug distribution. I believe all of it. But so do you see how secular sexual abuse and the abuse of power is actually leveraged in the victim's favor? And it's often why the systemic power imbalance in Hollywood is perpetuated as opposed to put to a stop. It's fueled by the pursuit of fame, money, and notoriety. People want to bolster their career. They want to get an acting gig. And this is the status quo. And Cassie is gorgeous. She's attractive and she can sing Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. And that song. That was a bop. I could have been like 8 when that song came out. I don't know how old I was. I still know the lyrics. If that comes on, boom, that little beat, the intro comes on. Everyone in the middle of a dance floor, let's go. But see, like, actresses and actors, all sleeping with the director is seen as them just like climbing, is the equivalent of like your average woman just climbing the corporate ladder. It's a very non-feminist career progression. Your way of climbing the corporate ladder climbing the career ladder in Hollywood is sleeping with men and powerful, influential men. And for that reason, the behavior of Diddy and the Weinsteins and the Harvey Weinsteins and the Jeffrey Epsteins, for a lot of people, it's not perceived as predatory behavior. The girl's just going to work. She's putting her shoes on, she's getting her bag, and she's going to work. Cassie went to work. She went to work. You get the train, she gets with Diddy. It's the same thing. Everyone knows in Hollywood you have to smash the director before you can smash the box office. Oh, you thought because you were beautiful and talented, that's what gets you success in Hollywood. This is my opinion, and let me know what you think. I see these Instagram comedians, like I think one of them's called Bermanzier, and he does like Keeping Up with the Kardashians impressions and things. I think a lot of these Instagram comedians and actors, Jack Joseph, if you know him in Britain, oh my god, so hilarious. I think they're actually more talented than 80% of people in Hollywood. I'm not joking. Their acting skills, I'm watching them on YouTube, I'm watching them on Instagram, I'm like, how are you not in a movie? How are you not in a TV series? What is this not? You need to be on TV. These guys, Jack Joseph and Bermanzier, need to be in they need to be in movies. I would run. I've kind of given up on cinema these days. If it's not the Shrek trilogy, I don't want to watch it. But if I see these guys in a movie, I'm gonna go to cinema. I need to see these guys in a movie. Exceptional talent. Like I don't know. Everyone knew about the creepy behavior of Harvey Weinstein in Hollywood, and that's actually why the iconic Ricky Gervais called them out at the 2020 Golden Globes Awards. I will never forget his exceptional hosting on this night. Let's remind us of what that looked like.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Complicit. They are all complicit and they know it. They know it. It's not news to Hollywood that this happens. Now, what happens in a church when there's gross misconduct with a priest, predatory behavior, violations against vulnerable people? They are immediately removed. Now, obviously not in the case of Archbishop of Canterbury, because he was complicit in the sense that he did not alert the authorities to the abuse that John Smythe was perpetrating. However, it is biblically prohibited. That is the standard. It's biblically prohibited. Whenever we find out that someone's cheating on their wife, bin. Carl Lentz cheating on your wife, bin. Anyone, youth pastor, even just an allegation of sexual misconduct, bin. We are so fast to get rid and remove these people of leadership because there is a standard. I think it's 1 Timothy. Let me find it. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. Bible B. Get me on that Bible B. 1 Timothy 3:2 states that An overseer or like a leader in the church must be the husband of one wife, be sober, self-controlled, and orderly. He must welcome strangers in his home. He must be able to teach. He must not be a drunkard or a violent man, but gentle and peaceful. He must not love money. He must be able to manage his own family well. This is the standard for our pastors, priests, bishops, deacons. This is the biblical standard. It is strictly prohibited to be abusive, corrupt, and coercive in the way that many of these Hollywood producers are. It is strictly precluded. And so we get rid of them effective immediately. Archbishop, gone. Canterbury, gone. Elevation Youth Pastor, gone. Carl Lentz, gone. All of them are gone, okay? We don't let them just hang around and foster and like make movies. You have to repent. And I think the standard that we hold all of these public figures to, unconsciously, is the standard that the Bible has for us, but we're still not saying the quiet part out loud. We need Christianity in order for this to be enforced. In Hollywood, if you cheat on your wife, you're the average actor. In fact, if you can manage to have a long marriage, like longer than 5-10 years, the press will marvel at your long-standing loyalty, your love. How do you do it? They release articles. How do you do it? Ask you what's your secret? How have you not cheated on your wife? It is a rare phenomenon when someone in Hollywood actually has a long marriage. It's noteworthy. Jesus says himself, it is better for a millstone to be tied around your neck than for you to, better for a millstone to be tied around your neck and thrown into the ocean than for you to cause one of the little ones to stumble. Harming vulnerable children. In God's eyes, if you do that, it is better for you to be thrown into the ocean with a stone around your neck. There is no tolerance for this predatory behavior in Christianity. Now, this doesn't accurately translate into Hollywood where there is no established morality. How can they be held to a standard if they don't have one? They don't have a set of concrete principles that they hold above themselves. And they know this. And they know this so well. It's laughable how much they know this. And that's why I want to show you this clip of this comedian called Nikki Glaser at the 82nd Golden Globes Awards. She hosted it. She made this joke. And I still remember Christian Twitter was saying that was the reason for the LA wildfires. And there's a clip of Nikki Glaser making this comment. And then the following clip would be the incineration of LA from the wildfires. Now, I don't believe Nikki Glaser making this one comment is what caused the LA wildfires. But I do believe that moments of tragedy, natural disasters can be used to wake people up. What really matters? Your money, your wealth, your status, or your sin? The problem of evil and your unrepentant sin. So let's take a listen to what Nikki Glaser had to say.
Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. And Mario Lopez, host of Access Hollywood, 1. All right. No surprise in this godless town.
So let me know which ones are your favorites, secular rverts or Catholic priests. Has your opinion changed on organized religion? Let me know what you think. I mean, personally, I don't even like the term organized religion, because what is the alternative? Disorganized religion? What do you want? What do you want the way Ryan Gosling says it in The Notebook? You may be so frustrated at the corruption of church leaders, but does that mean you pursue the walk of your faith on your own? Because an individualistic walk with Christ becomes self-centered, becomes selfish. You forget souls, baptism, salvation. You forget about discipleship. There are countless scriptures talking about the need for community. The Bible says, do not forsake the gathering. You must be at church with the ecclesia, praying for one another. The Bible says pray for one another, but if you're on your own, who are you praying for? Do not forsake the gathering. 2 heads are better than 1. That came from the Bible. You know that. This little thing that we say, 2 heads are better than 1. It's from the Bible. You can't do faith on your own because you don't like some of the corruption that you see. You need community. I understand why and how you can be distrusting of organized religion, but that is the order that God established for the church. Paradoxically, God can use imperfect people for his perfect will. And if you don't like that, then who the hell is he going to use? He can't use angels to fulfill the destiny of man. He needs to use human beings. If you don't like how these leaders are doing it, who is he going to use? You on your own? Going to faith and not talking to anyone after the service? You don't even get some tea and biscuits? Get the tea and biscuits. Who doesn't like a custard cream? And who doesn't like a cuppa? Cheeky cuppa. And you know what? So you can get the coffee really wrong. I do understand like how you can get coffee really wrong. You can't get English breakfast tea wrong. It's just a bloody bag. It's just a bloody tea bag. Bit of honey if they have it. Corruption is going to happen in this world with or without God. You can choose whether or not you would like to have the corruption with his moral standard or without his moral standard. There is an exciting encounter conference coming up this weekend. Tomorrow, literally Friday until Sunday. It's called an encounter conference. It is hosted by Christian Revival Church. There will be world-renowned pastors and speakers in attendance. There will be a time of uplifting praise and worship. It's an opportunity for you to really get buried in the presence of God. And exciting news, tomorrow is free. If you want to go for Saturday and Sunday, you have to pay the fee. But if you want to go for just tomorrow, it is completely free of charge. Also, if you have kids, they have a designated kids section for anybody under the age of 18 or 17 maybe if you like, so you can bring your kids along. There is a rigid operating sign-in system to keep them safe and secure on site, and bring them along and they can get touched by God and not by Diddy. Click the link in the description right now. Do not miss out on your opportunity to get in the presence of God. Enjoy your weekend. Like, comment, and subscribe.